Hello, welcome back. It's been a while since I did a battle report. It's been a while since I did any video. I think maybe the last video I put out maybe was a battle report. I don't remember. If it was, you should go back. I've got a playlist full of them. It's either going to be Orcs and Goblins on my half or Dwarfs. Those are the two armies that I have. Those are the two armies I play. I think I did a small one with some demons. But anyway, you can go and watch all of them. I'll put the... It'll be up here somewhere, I think, the card. This one's going to be... I know it says Orcs versus Skeletons. And this is not an Orc, and this is not a Skeleton. But I couldn't fit Orcs and Goblins and Tomb Kings in this thumbnail picture. So... come at me in the comments, I suppose. Anyway, this was a 1,250 point battle. We weren't using the new FAQ. We did play one of the new missions, however. The reason we weren't using the new FAQ is because it came out like a day before we played this battle. And we just didn't have enough time to go through it all and make sure that we were being consistent with it. So this is going to be the last one on the channel with the old rules, pre-FAQ. Thoughts on the FAQ? A quick rundown of it is I think it's overall very positive. There's a couple of things in there that need clarifying, I think, such as regeneration and stuff like that. The new Cathay book also needs a bit of clarification on some things, like does the cannon -1 to move stack, things like that. Hopefully that will get addressed fairly soon. I imagine they might do a day one FAQ. I was talking to a friend about this, and well, he thinks they might do a day one FAQ for Cathay. I'm not so sure. It might be needed though. Anyway, to the battle report. If you've stuck through my ramblings, thanks. Okay, so like I said, 1250 points. So I'm gonna go run through roughly what his list was. If you can work it out and let me know if I'm miles off or not. See if I can remember. It was a couple of days ago. You can see here that there is a objective token. This is from the new match play rulebook. So I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically like Battle for the Past but long ways. So you can't bring flyers on or off either edge. Let me see if I can find a picture of the overall battlefield. Yeah, there we go. So these edges are impassable. Flyers can't go off them. You can't bring ambushes or reserves on from them. And then you have to play with at least this, which is called strategic places of power, strategic positions or something. And there's 2 strategic positions, if that's what it's called, on the battlefield. And at the end of each player turn, so my turn, his turn, my turn, his turn, my turn, his turn, if you control it with a unit, with unit strength 10 or more, that is a core unit, you gain 30 points each. Throughout this battle, it doesn't really do anything, because we kind of both just had a unit, because this unit's so big that you'll see, but he ends up just basically staying within 6 inches of it for basically the whole battle, except the last turn. And I have 2 core units that can kind of just sit within 6 inches of it. So, all right, let me go through the lists really quickly for you. Okay, so in the Tomb Kings, we've got a Necrosphinx. I don't think he's got the Poison's Tail or any upgrades or anything, whatever you can give him. It's just a Necrosphinx. Then we've got a Necrotect, is it? With a Battle Center Bearer. He's got the I think it's like an 80-point standard that if you do a wound to the unit, for every wound that you do to the unit, you make a leadership test, and that's, or if you do like 5 wounds to the unit, you take a leadership test. If you fail the leadership test, you take a number of wounds at strength 2, with no armor saves allowed, equal to the amount of models that you killed. So it would be 5 in that case. That was the really convoluted way of saying it, but you understand what I mean, hopefully. If not, my bad. There's also full command in there. They've got spears and shields. They have the war banner on the skeleton, I think. Maybe it's on the BSB, I'm not sure. There's a war banner in there for sure, though. How many is this? I think there's 40 skeletons. in the new update, the new FAQ, this is going to be horrendous to deal with. I mean, it's bad enough at the minute, but it's going to be even more so. And then there is a Lich Priest here. The Lich Priest, I believe, has... Oh no, this guy had the pendant that gives them poison attacks as well. So there's a Lich Priest here, level 4. No, he's level 3, I think. I didn't think he had the points to make him a level 4. And then he had a unit of 4 chariots, sorry. And then there is a prince in the unit as well. I don't think the prince had any real upgrades. He maybe had a magic weapon, but I don't remember what it did. This is my opponent. Okay, my list. I had a Night Goblin War Boss on a giant cave squig. He had Trollhard trousers, light armor, shield for a 3-up save, and a regen of 5-up. And then he had Wallopers 1-hit wonder, quality item. Moving down the line, we've got a unit of 20 Night Goblins. These guys are Hobgrots from Cool Boys, but I've painted all their armor up to be like this dark blue-black, so I can use them as Night Goblins or normal Goblins, depending on what I want to do. They got full command in there, and they do have 2 fanatics. However, I forgot to bring the fanatics with me, so I just said that I didn't have them. I didn't use them. I still pay with the points for them, but I didn't use them. They've got hand weapon and shield, no armor or anything. And then here I got a level 4 Night Goblin Shaman. He had the Idol of Mork to reroll 1 casting value and increase the range by 3 inches. He also had one fungus wine. Because I knew I was coming into Tomb King, so I wanted to just have that one. I had to just run away immediately, getting charged. Oh, the Lich Priest also had the item that causes terror as well. There's no other items there. Moving over, I had 20 Orc Warriors, big uns, with shields, whatever armor option they can take. I think it's light armor, and spears. They had full command, and they also had a war banner in there. Moving over, you can see my Troll Hag. I made a level 2, and I gave her a Talisman of Protection. And then there is a unit of 3 trolls, stone trolls with great weapons. I have a painting tutorial on the channel of how to paint these, if you want to go check that out. And then hidden here in the forest, just inside the forest, there is a bolt thrower. And that's my list. So here's the overarching table. He ended up deploying first, so he got the +1 for the roll-off. I think this deployment is 12 inches up and then 6 inches away from the edge. That's why we're both kind of deployed centrally. So these are the spells that I got on my level 4. Miasmic Mirage, Spectral Doppelganger, Mind Razor, and Itchy Nuisance. I had this, or what was the other spell that I rolled? Because he's using Illusion. I can't remember. It was another really bad spell though, and I was like, if I take this, at least maybe if I get into combat with those skeletons, I can do a couple of wounds, because he doesn't have a magic weapon or anything. He's got just a hand weapon. Itchy Nuisance is going to become handy though to try and cast at the Necrosphinx. Same with Miasmic Mirage. If I can get this on the Skeleton Warriors as well, also very good. And then my Troll Hag got really bad spells. This one helped a little bit, you'll see in the first turn, but other than that, I don't think I cast a single spell with her. I tried to get a dynamic over-the-shoulder shot, and it just really blurry. I don't know what I was doing there. Anyway, I'll try and do better next time for this one. Okay, so my opponent. So I think in this mission actually, you roll, and whoever rolls highest decides who goes first. And I did actually win the roll-off, even though my opponent had the +1. But I let him go first. I wanted him to come forward a little bit. Because I've got random movement and things like that. I wanted to come in range of spells and stuff like that. So I let him go first. So he just moved these up. Moved the chariots up a little bit. Other than that, nothing happened. So then I think I've gotten a little bit out of order with these pictures. Yeah, you can see. Let me see. Okay, so my movement, I just moved. I cast Ravenous Recall, so I got +2 movement on these guys, and then just marched them as far forward as possible. So these guys are about 2 inches away from the chariots, which means that they're not going to get their impact hit. Which is, I was umming and ahhing whether I should do it, and I usually make the mistake with my Troll Hag of holding her back so I can cast spells with her. And she's only level 2, and pre-FAQ, she never ever basically got a cast off if there was level 4 on the other side of the table. So I thought I'd just put her forward. I've heard that she's pretty good in combat. I've used her 3 or 4 times. I've never rolled on her. I don't think I've ever been in combat with her. So I thought I'll just throw it at the table and see what happens. I didn't get any. Everything was out of range for my spells. I put my my war boss here behind the building because I didn't want to get charged with this. These guys are out of his charge range. These are just inside his charge range. But it's a long charge because of his wheel and stuff to get over there. So that's fine. If he makes that charge, then okay. They can probably hold because they've got the war banner and ranks and stuff like that. They may be okay. However, I did do 2 wounds with my bolt thrower. I hit wound and he failed all his saves. Got 2 wounds through, which is unusual. So yeah, you can see here, this is just me hiding behind the building like the brave war boss that I am. Okay, so on my opponent's turn 2, he charged into my my stone trolls. Didn't get any impact hits or anything like that, so I'm okay with this. I think I'm probably going to lose combat, but then he's going to overrun into my hag, and I think my hag will probably, from what I've read, like I think she's probably going to beat him in combat, right? I don't know because I've never had her in combat, so this will be an interesting test to see what happens. The Necrosinx just wheels around to position to come and charge into my lines, and these guys just shuffled forward a little bit. And the priest got in behind to try and like protect himself because he didn't want to get charged by the troll hag if by some miracle my trolls won that combat and like something crazy happened. I try to get another over the shoulder shot. I mean, they're getting better. It's not bad. Okay. So at the end of that round of combat, the chariots did win. I killed one of the chariots with, or did I do a wound to it? 2 wounds to it, it looks like, with one of my trolls. And this guy's on, like, he's taken 1 wound, I think. And then they did overrun. I think I fell back in good order. And then my troll hag charged into combat. Oh, no, sorry, they overran into my, maybe I gave ground. They overran into my, troll hag, because I think, right, if I'd have fell back in good order here, would I have fled because I'm outnumbered? 3, 6. What are light chariots? Are they 3 as well? So I think I probably should have fled here, right? I don't think it's going to make too much difference. I don't think it does make any difference anyway, but yeah, I think I probably should have fled here. Let me know. Okay, so in my turn 2, my war boss braved the cover, came out. I rolled quite high on his random movement, so I was able to get into the flank of this thing. And then I also got Miasmic Mirage on him, so that was nice. My orc boys, they failed their impetuous roll to try, because I was just in range of these chariots. Can you see it here? Yeah, so when they overran, this was like 9 inches or something. If I'd have rolled, I was thinking 8 inches, I think. If I'd have rolled a 6 on their charge roll, they would have been able to wheel around enough to get into combat. So but I failed my impetuous roll, and then I didn't roll high enough, so I ended up just going straight forward with them. So yeah, I charged back in here with my trolls, but I think they should have fled. So I don't think I should have moved these back in here. This dice is nothing. It's not a wound mark or anything. It's just on the movement tree for some reason. But yeah, I think I probably should have fled here. They ended up not doing very much anyway. And then my Shaman's unit just repositioned onto the objective. And my pod thrower missed. Trying to shoot the big guy again. So my troll hag rolled the one where you pick a model in the fighting rank and you do d3 plus 1 wounds to it. So I picked his print and I just killed him. She just squashed him. And then she killed 2 chariots with her stomp attacks. And then this is after crumble. I think that they killed one of my trolls before it even got to swing because they've got grey weapons. And then this one troll I think maybe did a wound. So even though they should have fled, they weren't very impactful. And so then I decided to restrain with the troll hag. And because I thought, oh, this combat's over. This one troll can win this. I'm going to turn this way so I can charge into this guy or maybe get in the flank of these. Smart. Nope. I forgot that he could bring them back to life. I completely forgot that he could bring them back to life. Well, you live and learn. Hindsight. So yeah, this is his turn 3. He regenerated these guys. And he charged into my orc boys with his skeleton warriors. I passed my fear check, terror check for them charging into me. And then he moved his priest up just behind the unit so he couldn't get charged by the hag. He was out of line of sight here, we checked. Although maybe not actually, because I'm a large target, right? So maybe I could have seen him. Anyway. Then just turn this guy around. Heal the wound off of him as well, previous turn. But yeah, everything's just like a bit of posturing at the minute. He's making sure that he stays within 6 inches of this. Again, like I said, because the unit's so large, because he's like wheeled round, he's always going to have that back corner basically in range, unless they start dying. But that's not super likely against orc boys, even though they are big uns. Okay, so these guys completely whiffed against each other. I didn't do any wounds to him and he didn't do any wounds to me. However, he had a banner. So he won combat and I did flee this time. We must have remembered here that I was outnumbered. And so I did in fact flee. And so they overran into the side of my troll hag. He's also cast, what's the spell? It's -1 leadership for everything within range of it, and it's difficult terrain. I can't remember what it's called. No, I can't remember. And another picture of the exact same thing is going to help me remember. So the skeleton warriors won this combat. It looks like I killed I killed 1. Oh no. They killed 4 orcs. And I did actually fall back in good order here. Although maybe that should have been a flee as well. Maybe we remembered here and forgot here. We'll see. I think they do end up fleeing. I think we remember in a minute. Okay, going on to my turn 3. I'm like, this is it. It's my opportunity. I just need to roll high with this guy. And I can get through this little gap, get over here, because I can draw a line of sight to him, and I can just run into him, kill this guy, and win. Because this is not great. This guy is now free. And these have just pushed these back, so things are not looking great. That's my plan, my tactics. I didn't roll high enough. But I thought I'll still go over there anyway and pressure him. and see what I can do. As you can see, I've made a huge dent to this Skeleton Warriors block. I managed to get Itchy Nuisance off on this, which was nice, because I failed Miasmic Mirage on him. So then I thought I'll try and cast Itchy Nuisance, see if I can reduce his toughness, because he's going to come into those goblins in a minute anyway. So I've got to try and do whatever I can to keep my my general alive. Now I just moved these guys. I must have fallen back in good order. So then I just moved these guys up. My Troll Hag killed the chariots. I can't remember what I rolled on a table. I think it was the same one. I just killed one outright, and then the stomp attack killed another one, and most of the other wounds on it. I think I had one wound left, and it crumbled. Oh, you can see that this... I don't know if you've been paying attention. This guy jumped. He was at the other end of the unit. Look, he was over here, but we realized that all the fighting was going to be on this side, and so we're like, oh, you should have just deployed him here. So it would have been better to deploy him here, so that they could have got the -D3 to their instability, whatever it is, the crumbling. So we just moved him over there. Okay, going into my opponent's turn 4. This is where I should have, and I would have, if I had remembered to bring them with me, deployed my fanatics at the start of his turn. I'd just put them out here, so that when he charged in, I could hit him, they'd have popped through, and then I'd just put them through again, hit him again. And with his -1 toughness, they'd have probably killed him. But I didn't have them, so just remember to bring your models, basically. He didn't charge me here because he wanted to stay in range of the objective, but he did move his Lich Priest into the unit, as you can see here. This is pretty scary. I'm not looking... I used my Fungus Wine, though, to prevent because I was expecting this guy to charge in. Okay, finally, we got something right. They did charge me. They did charge me. No, they didn't. He cast a spell at me. The spell, it was a magic missile. I can't remember which magic missile it was. It didn't allow armor saves, though. I know that much. And I failed my panic test and just ran away. Fled. So maybe this will be a fallback in good order, actually, because I'm not below... I don't know. It's been so long since I played properly. I need to review these rules, especially with this new FAQ coming out. However, my troll kept fleeing, he didn't rally. However, the true hero of the day was my shaman. I'm doubting myself now what I'm about to say. I used Spectral Doppelganger, which I think you can use as long as you're in the fighting rank. I don't think you have to be in base-to-base contact. I'm going to really quickly check, just to make sure that I am... What would it be under? Assailment spells? Assailment. Yeah, if a wizard that is engaged in combat knows any assailant spells, they may attempt to cast them in addition to making normal attacks when it is their turn to fight, as determined by their initiative. Okay, so yeah, I knew this. I wasn't doubting myself for a second. So yeah, anyway, he casts Spectral Doppelganger. He's only strength 3. So even though that guy's been reduced in toughness, I think I still needed 6s to wound him. I rolled a decent number. I got 2 wounds through through his armor save, through his water. I don't have any magic weapons or special weapons or no AP or anything, but I got 2 wounds through somehow. An absolute Morky miracle. So I won this combat. How many wounds does it look like he's done to me? 5. But I have a banner, 2 ranks. I did 2 wounds. I have close order. So I think I won by 1. And then I have a musician. I think it was a drawn combat and I have a musician. So I pushed him back. And I chose to not follow up. Okay. My turn 4. My troll hag charged here. And my war boss with his random movement moved into this guy's butt. This is it. Wallopers one-hit wonder straight to the butt. It's not going to be pretty for this guy. Oh, by the way, my bolt thrower has missed every single turn so far that it's had a chance of shooting. Every single time. I did get Itch Nuisance off on him, and -3 to his toughness and initiative before the charges and stuff happened. I just forgot to put the card down. I'm not used to using them. I've only had them, and they've all changed now. So I'm going to have to get like a Sharpie or something and like change the casting values on them, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Oh. All right, let me tell you something about what happened here. I rolled the perfect roll for the troll hag on a random table. I got the large 5-inch template right over the middle of them. I think it was 22 potential hits we worked out. And I got 4, I think. I got 4 out of 22, 4-ups. It was, but because they're strength 6 though, I killed all of them. Or maybe he saved one of them with regen or something, or whatever, but like 4 out of 22. It was so sad. And Stomp maybe killed 1 or 2. But because of that, he ended up having loads of them left in the fighting rank and stuff. And he did 2 wounds to me. 3 wounds to me, I think. I think I'd healed the other one up. And so yeah, I lost combat and fell back. At least I killed the Necrosinks, though. So that's good. Okay, going into his next turn, turn 5, I believe. Oh, we were also playing random game length. Oh, it was a bit of a spoiler there. So, yeah, he just cast a spell at me, and I failed to dispel it. I think he irresistible did. And then I ended up with, I think, 2 5-ups with my ward save and my regen. I just failed all of them. And my troll hag died. And it was sad. Anyway. So at this point here, we were trying to work out points. Because we roll a dice now, and if you roll a number... Sorry, turn 5, roll a dice. If you get a 10 or more, with adding the turn number to what you roll on the dice together, the game ends. If you get less than a 10, the game continues. So we were trying to work out points here. And we think at this point, because my orcs have rallied down here, I think my troll rallied as well. So we think at this point that I'm probably winning, just on points, even though the troll hag just went down. I've killed all those chariots, the prince, and the necrosphinx. So I do something that I should not have done. Is I push forward. I mean, we're playing a friendly game, right? If we're playing a more competitive game, then I don't think I should have moved forward. I should have just sat back and just, because I was winning, so I was like, I'm probably just gonna. But I think with the new match play, the more that you win by, the better. So maybe I should be doing this. Yeah, just be more aggressive, right? So I move this guy over here. I'm going to charge here next turn to get... Try and assassinate one of these guys with him. Because the squig has killing blow. So that's what I do. I charge in with both of them. I actually made a bit of a mistake here, a bit of a blunder he didn't issue any challenges. And so I should have not issued any challenges also. And I should have just, because I was in base conduct with this guy, I should have just attacked him with everything this guy had. But I foolishly issued a challenge with my, with this guy, my shaman, which was incredibly foolish, I think. So he declined the challenge and went to the back of the unit. So that was a big mistake by me. But I ended up killing the banner bearer, but I still lost combat. What happened here? So yeah, I ended up still losing combat. He took significant losses also. Maybe I won combat, and then I chose to not follow up because I wanted to get the benefits of charging for his initiative or spear or something. I can't remember. And I didn't want to have these in combat anymore. So I think I restrained with both units and didn't follow up, which again was a mistake. I should have learned from my earlier mistake when the blooming chariots. So yeah, he regened a bunch of them, like 10 of them there, because he had some canoptic jars or something. And this is where we were trying to work out the points. And we worked out that even though this would probably drag him out of range of this, it was best for him to charge this unit to try and kill this guy and the rest of the unit. I ended up failing my terror test. And then I didn't run very far. I ran like 2 or 3 inches, I think. So we redirected into this, or overran into this as he tried to pursue me. And he won combat again here. And I fell back in good order, I think, or fled or something, I can't remember. Anyway, he ended up overrunning and hitting my... I think I was fleeing, but he overran and he hit this unit. So they died, but then he stopped where he hit them. So we got all the points for this unit. So I've got this guy left, and my orcs, and 1 troll. And they're all in a bit of a line, so they can't charge past each other. I'm in pretty big trouble here, I think. So I just charged in with this guy again. Hope with the rest. He's got 2 wounds left. I didn't kill the priest again. He's over here, just hanging out. Oh. I was trying to take a picture of my army. And I accidentally took a video. And then my phone died. So I don't have anything else after this. But this is how the game ended. So I have this guy, these, and my troll. And he has this unit, basically, and the priest. Now, it was a very, very, very minor victory to the Orcs and Goblins. By like 13 points. I think I won by like 113 points or something. Just because... it hadn't got any points for any of the 3 units that were still on the table. He didn't get any points for. Whereas I got like a quarter of the points for these, I think. All the chariots, the banner bearer had like an 80-point banner and stuff on him. And I got the points for the battle center bearer as well. And then he got points for running down my units. We got 50 points for that banner. And the troll hag, she was like 300 points. So it was very, very close. The objectives didn't make any difference. Like, even though he lost 30 points for that last turn when he charged, he had to do that to kill the goblin unit that had my general and shaman and everything in. Otherwise, it would have been a massive victory to me if he hadn't killed that unit. So he had to do that. So the 30 points that he lost there made no difference. If he could have somehow done both, then sure, it would have been a draw. But, yeah. So anyway, that's how it ended. A bit anticlimactic there because I was trying to work out it should have been a draw realistically, which is always the best outcome for a battle. But it was a really fun game. Big thank you to my opponent if he ever watches this. I doubt he will. Nobody watches these. I don't even know. I'm just talking to myself at this point. But if you are still here and you've listened to me ramble on this long, if you could give me any feedback. I'm closing in on 500 subscribers somehow. I don't know how that happened, but I'm closing in on it. So if you could drop a like, a comment, a dislike, just share it with your granny or whoever, and subscribe if you're not already. That would be really appreciated. I got a bunch of paint tutorials on the channel, so if there's any of the models in here that you see that you like, go check it out. There'll be some other channels, a lot of dwarf ones, a few goblins, a couple of the trolls, things like that. So anyway, that's all for me for now. So see ya.